A lot of fascinating and a lot of groundbreaking event has played out behind the scenes regarding the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, because as we speak, the president of the most powerful nation of the world in the person of Donald J. Trump has put a call across to some individuals and some leaders domiciled in the Nigerian administrative body. So the question here is, why is the president of the most powerful nation of the world calling Nigeria and addressing them because of Nnamdi Kanu? Well, in this video, we shall be discussing and critically analyzing every single thing that you need to know and understand. At the same time, something very interesting is currently playing out in Finland, because next week, Mr. Simon is going to appear before the Pateon District Court. But this time around, he's not appearing in the court because he wants to be tried. He's going to appear in the court of law because the presiding judges wants to make a decision that will definitely, one way or the other, send a lot of jubilations and celebrations in the hearts and minds of many lovers of Simon. So the question here is, what is this news that will make a lot of individuals from the US celebrate and jubilate? Well, in this video, we'll definitely answer all of your questions. So let's start with the case of Nnamdi Kanu. As stated previously, the president of the most powerful nation of the world has put a call across to that man and to his lawyers and to Nigeria. Why is that so? And how did it happen? Well, it all kicked off on the 19th of June of 2025 when Nnamdi Kanu appeared before the Federal High Court seated in Abuja, Nigeria. Yes, in that court session held in Abuja, an individual from the USA was in attendance, an individual from the USA who traveled from Washington, D.C. to Nigeria to observe the case of Simon. Many individuals did not ask questions why did a US rep was in attendance, and many failed to understand the reasons or the motives behind his attendance. Well, a couple of days before Nnamdi Kanu appeared before the Federal High Court in Abuja, a politician in the USA known as John Stein met with Donald Trump and he briefed him about the ongoing case of Nnamdi Kanu. Showing right now on your screen is a quick description of this individual, this politician who met with Donald Trump. His name is Governor Josh Stein. He happens to be the governor of North Carolina. This is the individual who met with the president of the USA, informing that, see, there's a man known as Nnamdi Kanu who is currently facing trial in that country for a series of offenses leveled against him. This governor also asked Donald Trump to grant him the permission to make that said day, that's 19th of June of 2025, an Igbo day. President of the USA gave Governor John Stein the permission to make that day an Igbo day. Showing right now on your screen, it's an official document coming from this governor, the governor of North Carolina. Yes, he released this document asking the whole state to observe a public holiday in respect of the Igbos in Nigeria, in the USA, and in all parts of the world. When you look at this document, you see the signature of the governor and his seal. And like I said, this is coming from his official desk. At the same time, this governor also contacted Ngozi Oraboize. Showing right now on your screen is a quick description coming from the DPM, Ngozi Oraboize, acknowledging the fact that she has a series of conversations with the governor of North Carolina. But then something interesting happened behind the scenes that we all need to pay attention at this particular point in time, something that nobody was expecting to happen. The moment the governor of North Carolina met with Donald Trump, or he informed him about his decisions and about the ongoing events in Nigeria regarding Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, we believe that an individual in the US government contacted a department known as the US Department of State to send one of its representatives to Nigeria so as to first-hand observe Simon's case. That individual was tasked with 5 main objectives. Showing right now on your screen is a 5 objective this individual sent by the US Department of State to Nigeria, to Abuja, Nigeria, has to fulfill in the court session. Feel free to pause this particular part of the video just in case you want to read up and understand. Anyways, moving on swiftly, on that said day, on the 19th of June of 2025, we noticed that this individual appeared in the court session. Yes, that individual sent by the US was in full attendance in the court session. This did not sit well with a lot of individuals domiciled in the Nigerian government. They were like, why will a foreigner come to our courts to observe our court hearings and to possibly report back to their country? This did not sit well with the federal government of Nigeria. Interestingly, that same day, the presiding judge in the Federal High Court in Abuja officially closed the case of Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. Showing right now on your screen, it's an article coming from a news agency domiciled in this country, stating categorically that Nnamdi Kanu's case has been closed officially. But then we'll come back to this case in a minute because we have a lot of info to still share with you and disclose regarding the case of Nnamdi Kanu that will definitely blow your mind and surprise you. But then before we come back to this case, let's talk about Simon, a man held in Kilamakoski Correctional Center. I stated previously, Wednesday next week, he's going to stand trial again. He's going to appear before the Pateon District Court. But this time around, he's not coming to be prosecuted or to defend his case. He's coming to possibly seek for a bailing condition. Yes, this came as a shocker because nobody was expecting the Pateon District Court to grant bail to a man who is facing charges related to terrorism. So next week, Wednesday, is going to be a very, very big one. It's going to definitely shake the world if Simon gets released or granted bail. While making this video, we also noticed that something happened sometimes back. Yes, a couple of days back, when Simon appeared before the Pateon District Court, something happened that was kept hidden, that a lot of media houses in Finland did not disclose or never wanted us to see or allow Nigerians to see. So the question here is, what is that info? Take a look at this publication showing right now on your screen. It states, a former municipal politician's voice broke when he told about women unalived in his region. And this individual in question is Simon. Yes, for better clarity and for better understanding, take a look at the highlighted part of this publication. It states, 3 of the women had been unalived. Their necks had been cut. I myself lost my mother when I was 3 months old. The unaliving of these women hit me very badly. And this was Simon speaking or talking about his mom, that he lost his mom when he was just a couple of months old. When he made that statement in the courtroom, the lawyers, his lawyer and the prosecuting lawyer felt pity for him, and they said that Simon lost his voice. He became very emotional. Individuals in the courtroom session became very, very much emotional about the statement coming out from Simon. Yes, this is a very, very interesting one. This info has been kept secret because the Pateon District Court don't want to disclose the fact that they became very emotional when Simon made that statement in the courtroom. Anyways, moving on swiftly, let's go back to Nnamdi Kanu's case. Let's go back to his case and see what we can find. Just in case you don't know, the Nigerian government has officially closed his case. Showing right now on your screen an article coming from Sahara Reporters stating the same thing, that his case has officially been closed. But then, there are a lot of things we need to still understand. Closing his case doesn't mean victory yet. It doesn't mean he has won the case. Closing his case is very, very big in nature. Let me explain. So, the Federal Republic of Nigeria has closed its case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This means that the prosecution, that is the federal government of Nigeria, has finished presenting its evidence and arguments in the trial against Nnamdi Kanu. Essentially, they have concluded their side of the case and no further evidence will be introduced by them at this stage. Just in case you don't understand, the Federal High Court in Nigeria has closed the case and the government of Nigeria has closed the case against Simon, meaning no further evidence, no further arguments or debates will be held in this particular case. So then, what follows suit? Since the government has closed its case, since the Federal High Court has closed the case, what will follow next? Well, take a look at this. The court granted the defense, that is, the court granted Nnamdi Kanu and his legal counsel team 14 days to file its written address on a no-case submission. That is to say, the defense team representing Nnamdi Kanu has 14 days to submit a written argument that asserts there is no case against Simon. So the question here is, what is a no-case submission, or what is a no-case document that Nnamdi Kanu's and his legal counsel team must submit before the Federal High Court in Nigeria? Well, a no-case submission or a no-case document is a legal argument made by the defense claiming that the prosecution has not provided sufficient evidence to support the charges. If the court agrees, it could lead to Kanu being acquitted without the need for further proceedings. Yes, so if Nnamdi Kanu and his legal counsel team submit a no-case submission or document to the court, and if the court accepts or agrees, the presiding judge will have to acquit or free Nnamdi Kanu. But then, this is not the case here. The presiding judge has asked or have given the prosecuting lawyer 14 days to respond to the claims or assertions coming from the defendant, Nnamdi Kanu's legal counsel team. Yes. So after Nnamdi Kanu's legal counsel team submits its written address, the prosecution is also given 14 days to respond to the defense argument. This means that they will have the opportunity to counter the defense claims and present their reasoning as to why the case should discontinue. Hope this is actually very, very clear to understand. So, after the prosecuting lawyer submits its response to Nnamdi Kanu's legal counsel team written address to the judge, several key steps will follow suit or will be taken. The very first one here is a court review. Yes, Federal High Court will review Nnamdi Kanu's submission, and also the Federal High Court will also review the prosecuting lawyer's responses to Nnamdi Kanu's submission. Hope it's actually very, very clear. And then other actions will follow suit. Showing right now on your screen are these actions. The very first one here is the hearing date. The third is judgment on the no case submission. And the fourth is further proceedings. And the fifth is final judgment. All of these things probably will take about 1 to 2 months to finalize, give a verdict regarding Nnamdi Kanu's case. Hope is actually very, very clear to understand and to grasp. Anyways, moving on swiftly, something is currently happening within or in the USB government. Yes, something very, very heartbreaking is happening within the government of the USB. So the question here is, what is happening and how is it heartbreaking and frightening? Well, take a look at this publication coming from Ngozi Arabueze, published on the 19th of June of 2025, where she claimed that Amanda Biri, who happens to be a lawyer representing the USB movement, has filed a lawsuit against USB itself. This doesn't make sense. Amanda Biri was once upon a time employed by Simon, a man held in Kilamakoski Correctional Center, to be the lead lawyer and the legal advisor for the USB movement. But as we speak, Amanda Biri has filed a lawsuit against the USB. Why is that so? Well, as we speak, we're still trying to gather 1 or 2 info regarding this case, and in our next video, in our subsequent video, we're going to definitely explain every single thing that is currently happening within the government. Yes, anyways, if you find this video interesting, please do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications. Anyways, moving on swiftly, Simon recently appeared before the Pateon District Court to continue with his trial, and a lot of things and info played out. Simon at some point broke down in tears. Yes, if you want to see every single thing that happened in the Pateon District Court and why Simon himself broke down in tears, we have a video that will showcase and disclose every single thing that you need to know and understand at this particular point in time. If you want to watch that video and get full update, that video is showing right now on your screen. So click on this video to watch and understand. Click on this particular video and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching.